Hello and welcome to the 7th Guest. A great game, a game that some of you might not even know. That is because this is a very old game. It was released in 1993 and yeah, it's really from my childhood, you know. I'm feeling really nostalgic and well, that's the reason why I'm playing it. And, well, in fact, I didn't even knew about, well, I knew about this game, but I had totally forgotten about it till I saw it on the Steam sale. And, well, I bought it and it ran wonderfully, thanks to some magical software called ScummVM, which, well, does the job. Because, well, I actually didn't, but my dad had this game. But he gave it to me once I left their home. And I've tried installing it, but the discs are too damaged. So, well, you know, me. But I threw them away because they didn't work, which in hindsight is a thing I should not have done. But now it does run again, thanks to magic software. And, well, you know, this great game I am gonna play, and I'll take you on to the journey with it. But before we start, let me just, you know, talk a little bit about this game a bit more. Because, you know, the reason why this game is so great, in my opinion, is not because, well, the gameplay is that exciting, or the graphics are that good looking, especially when you compare them to today's games. I mean, that doesn't hold a candle against it. But back in the day, you know, when this game was released in 1993, it was revolutionary. And that was because before this game, you know, well, the things you'd be playing on a PC would be games like Commander Keen and Wolfenstein 3D, or, well, SimCity, the original, or Prince of Persia, and, well, those kind of games, you know. I mean, well, if you were really into gaming, you'd have an Amiga, because they had all the great games. But if you were, you know, on a PC, like me, because we did not have an Amiga, then those were the games you'd be playing, and those came on floppy disks, you know, the things you'd used before DVDs, before CDs even. And this game broke that tradition. This was one of the very first games released on a CD. 2 CDs no less, one with the game and one with the audio and video, I believe. And well, you know, that was really groundbreaking back then. I mean, especially, you know, I don't know if any of those games I just mentioned, you know, come to mind, but this game back then was cutting edge. It looked good, you know, and it was revolutionary for it being on 2 CDs. So, yeah. Now, another thing, you know, I mean, that's why my dad got it, and well, I was hooked on it straight away, but not for those things. I mean, when we got this game, which was also in 1993, I was a little kid and I didn't care so much for all those things, you know. But what really drew me in was the general spooky atmosphere to the game, which, well, I mean, you know, as a kid, I wouldn't say I was scared of it, but I was really attracted to it, you know. Back in the day, I found it really well done, and, well, I must admit, I have played the game already, and now that I'm a grown-up adult and all that, I must say, it's a little bit less spooky, but you can still, you know, it just breathes a spooky atmosphere, which, well, you'll see once we get into it. And, well, you know, that's you know, a bit more of the background story for this game. And well, with that said, you know, the game itself, it's a puzzle game, an adventure type of game, where the story revolves around a certain Mr. Henry Stauf. And, well, we are not Mr. Henry Stauf, but we are like a, you know, a spectator who plays through the story, more or less. So, well, that's it. I think without much further ado, it is about time that we start new game, that is. So, here it goes, the intro movie.
He was a drifter, moving from town to town, robbing a gas station here, a grocery store there, until one night. She was coming home from choir practice, but she never got there. Stauf took her purse and ran away. Instead, Stauf had to run and hide. He sunk even lower. He had nothing. No life, no possessions, no dreams. And that's when the vision came. A doll. And in his dream, Stauf reached out. It was a gift. Stauf carved the doll, whittling the haunting face until it was an exact replica. And when he was done, Stauf went to town, to a bar. The owner had a daughter. He said his girl would love the strange doll. And Stauf offered it to the man. And the owner, in turn, offered Stauf food and a place to stay. A simple transaction, the first of many. And that night, Stauf had another vision. Stauf created the puzzle just as he saw it, and everyone wanted one. Stauf opened up a shop because everyone wanted a Stauf toy. Every boy and girl in the town, and from all the neighboring towns. A Stauf toy is a toy for life, people said, and no two are alike. Everyone loved his unique toys. Henry Stauf grew wealthy, but then the strange virus came, and some of the children started dying. Dying, clutching their Stauf toys so close. And there was this one last vision, a last dream of a great house, a mansion that the wealthy toy maker was to build. A strange house, a house that scared people.
My, isn't this a cheery place?
Edward, I'm not sure we should have been here today.
Why? Because it's a spooky old house? Don't worry, dear. I'll watch out for you.
What a dump. I expected more of Mr. Stauf.
And Lord, it smells awful too. What's Stauf been doing here?
How did I get here? I remember nothing.
There we are, in the game, and we remember nothing. And we were just introduced to 6 guests in this house. But, as the game title suggests, it's all about the 7th guest. But that is the whole story, and we will find that out. Well, you know, I mean, we've seen those 6 guests, but I mean, in terms of an introduction, there is a lot more to them, but I'll, you know, cover that as we go and as we get to meet them a little bit more. But about the game, you know, you might have seen these colors flickering over here on the wall, you know, when it's just, well, you know, getting really dark and all that, and I don't remember that from, you know, back when I was playing this, and I think it is, you know, with the magic software ScummVM. And I fiddled around before, you know, started recording, try and see if I could get different render settings and all that, but I couldn't get it away, so we'll just have to live with it, I guess. But yeah, this is the game, you know, the entrance hall to Stauf's mansion. And I know they call him differently in the movie, but I just keep calling him Stauf because, well, you know, that's how I called him as a kid. So I'll keep doing that. Stubborn me. Anyway, yeah, now the whole goal here is to solve puzzles, you know, that Stauf made for his guests. And, well, seeing how we are in his house now, we need to solve some puzzles. And, well, where to go, right? Well, there is a quick, you know, way to find that out. But before we do that, you can see the mouse here does different things. And it's actually really important because when it's pointing like that, I think it's quite obvious. We can move over there, we can move over here, or over here. But there are more, you know, the mouse has more shapes than just this skeleton hand. Because this means that you go to the menu. And this, well, means also things. So let's click it, right? Oh, and then we get the same introduction. Totally forgot about that. Yeah. Anyway, that is, you know, when you see that ghost face, you get the same introduction, the same in-game movie things, you know. And well, the thing is that there is no skip this, so we'll have to sit through it. But that's another thing, you know, that was really new when this game was released. It was like the first game that actually did this, and it was to put, well, you know, real-time video footage on a PC screen. Wasn't done before, you know. Before it was just all animated pictures and pixels. This is real video stuff, and that was quite unique. And well, I quite fondly remember that, you know, because, well, the videos were on the second CD-ROM. Back in the day, you know, the CD drive was like 2 speed, and I remember it spinning like crazy to load all these video sequences and sound and all that. So yeah, of course it doesn't look that great right now, you know, compared to today's standards, but yeah, back in the day this was groundbreaking, you know, the use of real video in a game. So there you have it. So now that we've seen that twice, yeah, let's check out where we need to go, right? Well, I know, but maybe you don't. And the way to find that out is here in the menu. where we can go to the map, and well, the map will show where we can go really. And for now, the one place where we can go, or well, it's actually two places, is either here or here. We could also go upstairs. Look, there's an upstairs map, but as you can see, it's all closed, so we can't go anywhere really. So, well, and because these two places are the only place we can go, that is where we will go. So, yeah, let's go back into the game. Now, the pacing as well isn't that great. I mean, it's all animated, this, you know. Originally, the developers wanted, instead of well, using rendered stuff, they wanted to use video sequences just taped together and you know, have that be the game. But well, they've, you know, during development they came back on that, and they found out that they could also render the whole house in 3D. And you've got to remember that this is rendered in 3D in, well, before 1993, in the DOS era. So yeah, that's quite a feat actually. And well, I know, I mean, that was back in the day, and I've seen the, you know, the making of, and they also show like how they made the 3D stuff, and wow, I mean, that's like, that is almost like a museum piece. But anyway, back, you know, to the story. Our first puzzle, we will go into this big door over here and see what's there. And it looks to be a dining room really, and wow, you know, quite a nice dining room, but it is also a bit spooky. I don't know what it is, but it just has this old Victorian spookiness to it, right? And well, we can also look around over here, but I don't think we'll see much other than the door. Yeah, that's only for leaving. So we'll turn back again, as we've taken a good look of the dining room here, and well, we will move forward. Now, there are a lot of places, you know, and tiny things on the map. Well, a lot, I mean, on some screens, you know, there's tiny places that you can click, so don't be surprised if you just see me, you know, moving the mouse about to discover where these places are. But for here, there's not much, or there are not much places to go other than moving forward towards the table, which we'll do.
I guess our host wants us to fend for ourselves.
Oh, I've tasted better fare.
At least he left his regrets.
I'll show you mine, if you show me yours.
I don't know,
Oh, it says that we're each to have a piece. Exactly the same, including the symbols.
Why, that's impossible!
Alright, so that is the introduction to this puzzle, and as you can see, the mouse cursor changed when I hovered over this cake, and this is to indicate that there's a puzzle to play, which, well, we'll do. But there is also this, you know, this teeth thing, which I don't really know why it's there. I mean, I can understand the brains popping out, that this requires thinking. I can understand the skeletal hand. What I don't understand is the teeth. I mean, are we gonna eat right now? But no. I know this is, you know, another thing to which will generally add to the spookiness of the house. So let's find out. Well, scary, right? No, not really, but you know, it's these things are hidden, you know, throughout the whole game as well. And well, I must say that this one was a little bit goofy, but there are quite cool ones as well. So, anyway, yeah, let's play the first puzzle, right? And let's see what it's all about.
Ah, become a grave digger now, have we? You are a glutton for punishment.
Oh, Mr. Stauf, the word pun, a grave digger. With these symbols. Clever you, with your puzzles. Now, the guests said, you know, when they were standing around the table, that each of them need a piece with the same symbols. So, well, as far as I can tell, that means that they all need at least a skull, a gravestone, and an empty space here. But, as you can see, there are only 6 empty spaces here. That means 6 pieces. So what we're gonna have to do is see that we get pieces with like 2 gravestones and 2 skulls and an empty piece, and that will fit. So
2 skulls and 2 stones. The rest is just icing.
Dude, that's what I just said. Anyway.
Puzzling. Some cannot be created more equal than others.
Really? Well, we'll see about that, but these pieces are gonna be quite equal. Voice. That's us, by the way, that voice. Look, and there they float up. The first piece of the cake, really. Now, another piece, let's see right over here. Really easy. So, here, have a very long slice of cake. Whoever gets this. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, you know, this was pretty good stuff. I mean, Wolfenstein 3D was like another big 3D game back then. I mean, Doom, which is a very well-known 3D game, was released after this. So imagine how, how high the 3D standards were with this game. I mean, anyway, I also see this piece over here, which we'll cut off now, like this. Looking good. So that's 3 pieces, which means that we're more or less like halfway through. And wow, you know, another piece that I see is right over here. Really nice. So we'll get that. Come on. So it's a bit finicky sometimes with where you can click, but oh well. It's what you get, you know. It's also another thing that you have to keep in mind is that I'm playing this game on a, on a 640 by 480 resolution, and there is no way to upscale this. I mean, back in the day, that was a high res, you know. So yeah, and I even have upscaled it because I don't really trust YouTube's upscaling function. So it's not much though, but still. Anyway, yeah, we solved the puzzle. Now, this wasn't really that hard, and, well, you know, I still remember, back when I played this, you know, for the first time, like a month ago, I still remember this puzzle from, well, those 20 years ago when I played it for the first time. Can you imagine what kind of memory I have? It's photographic. Well, it's not really, but anyway, let's continue on and solve it.
There.
Indeed, there. Oh, look at it. They're sinking in the cake again.
Don't worry. I won't bite. Edward, we could help each other out. I could help you, and you could help me. Come and talk in my bedroom upstairs, where it's nice and private.
Well, Edward, what did you do, mate? That sure didn't sound so good. But yeah, there you saw those skulls in her face. She is certainly an evil one. She's called Martine Burden, by the way, and yeah, well, you know, she had the skull in her face when we were introduced to her in the foyer, and now she has it again. So my guess is that she is most definitely evil, and she's trying to get an affair going in this house with Mr. Edward, who's actually married to Eleanor. You know, her wife. And, well, it seems that Edward was totally taken by the beauty of Martine, and well, they're going upstairs to her room, which I think would be a nice place for us to go as well and see what happened over there, right? So, ooh, but another thing that I see is, you know, these teeth right here. Previously they were over here, but they might be the same. Let's check it out. Yeah, they are the same. Great! It starts floating again. Oh wow. Anyway, I think we should go upstairs now to Martine's room and see what they are doing there. You know, Martine and Edward. I hope that they do stay true. You know, and no cheating and affairs and all that. Well, actually, it's rather likely that that will happen. But, you know, let's just assume that we don't know. Well, I know, but let's assume you don't know where Martine's room is. We'll go and check that out on the map. So, after the menu is fully loaded. Now, as you can see, not much has changed here, but you can see that another room has opened up. And that's right next to the room that we just completed, which is now shown in red. However, we were going to Martine's room, and I know that that one is upstairs. So that's where we'll go. But you can see that a lot of these puzzles have opened up now, you know, these rooms. Well, each room has a puzzle, but I know that Martine's room is this one. So that's where we'll go to see what, you know, well, what they're doing really. So we'll return. Oh, and we are right back at the start of the foyer. Great. Yeah, I won't go to the map view too many times, but let's go upstairs then, right? And here we are upstairs, looking at this painting, and there are teeth again. So let's see what is the deal with this painting. Well, it seems that there is some ghost trapped behind it. Pretty cool. I mean, wow, you know, especially all the hands and all that. Let's see it again. Will he break out now? Nope, he won't. No, it's the exact same sequence, but I thought it was pretty cool. And back in the day, you know, that I'd never seen stuff like that. And well, I was a little kid, and I found it quite cool, you know, quite scary. Not anymore now, though, mind you, but. Ooh, a ghost. She wants us to follow. Right, well, you know, if we did not check the map and I didn't tell you where it was, this would quite obviously point you to her room. So, we'll go there and see what Martine's doing to Edward. Hopefully Eleanor can still sleep nice and dandy after we've discovered what's going on here. So let's enter.